Hey everyone, my name is Husker Raven, and today we are going to be doing a Pokemon challenge, in which I can only use a Bellsprout to beat all of Pokemon Red. Bellsprout is a pretty weak Pokemon, with a base stat of only 300, that being on par with a Pikachu without the buff on Gen 6, with its highest stats being attack and special attack. However, I still don't think it'll be enough. Our moveset is pretty bad, with us having low power grass and poison moves. However, I think either Sleep Powder or Stun Spore are really gonna carry me through this run. Our TM possibilities don't really open up much, and I don't want to resort to double team because that's just coming, but we'll see how it goes. I honestly don't think I can win this. Blaine is going to cause some real trouble, as well as Lorelei in the Elite Four, and the rivals Alakazam. I will not be surprised if I have to be level 100 if I even want to get close to beating this challenge. Now, the rules are quite simple. I can only use Bellsprout in battle. I'll need other Pokemon for HMs, however these will have no impact on the flow of battles. If you enjoyed the video, please consider subscribing, it would help me out a lot. Also, if you want more challenges like this, you should check out MDB, he does stuff like this all the time, just better. I'll link his channel in the description below. Now let's get into it. So first of all, I replaced Bulbasaur with Bellsprout, so their rival has Charmander. I name it Carney, and on to the first battle. We actually lose this fight just because our Vine Whip does almost nothing to it, and even he uses some pretty terrible moves. After that embarrassing loss, we attempt to go through Viridian Forest, but we get taken out by the first trainer and its Weedle. We need to grind. So I start grinding on the route west of Viridian City for a while until we reach level 11 and try again. We still aren't doing that much damage, but with the help of Growth now, we manage to defeat him and all of the rest of the trainers in the forest until we reach Pewter City. When we arrive, we heal up and go for Brock right away. Since all of his Pokemon are part ground, part rock, our grass type move is 4 times super effective, making it a one-shot for both of them, earning us our second badge. After that, we start heading west to go to Mount Moon, and while fighting the trainers in the road, Carney learns Sleep Powder. This is a great move with 75% accuracy to sleep the target. Sleep in this gen is OP, since it can last for a lot longer than normal, and even when the target wakes up, it can't attack on that turn. This move is definitely gonna carry us. And I didn't take Poison Powder because I don't believe that we can outlast any Pokemon. Also, you may notice that I'm using Wrap, a 20 power move with no stab, rather than Vine Whip, a 35 power move with stab. That's because in Gen 1, this move can hit for many consecutive turns again and again, and just like Sleep, once the Wrap is over, the other Pokemon can't attack. Yep, this is Gen 1, making an incredibly bad move absolutely overpowered just because it's programmed weird. Once in Rock Tunnel, Carney reaches level 21, the level at which it evolves into Weeping Bell. But since I'm an idiot and I accidentally allowed it to evolve and I had to do everything again. But don't worry, you don't have to see that. And sadly, there is no Overstone in Gen 1, so I'll just have to be a little bit more careful. Finally, after traversing all of Mount Moon, we'll reach Cerulean City. I'm not gonna do the rival fight yet since the whole team just scares me, so I'll try my luck at Misty first. She should be fairly simple. We went into the Misty fight with level 23. The Staryu hits me with a tackle for very little damage, and I use Sleep Powder to be able to set up my growths so that they can hit as hard as possible. However, I'm only able to set up 2 growths before the Staryu wakes. Then she sends her Star and uses Negative Defense as I Vine Whip to take her out in one hit. An incredibly easy team leader, but now I'm worried about the rival fight. At this point, he has a flying and a fire type. We can't really handle that, but let's just see how it goes. First he opens up with Pidgeotto, as I try to put it to sleep so I can build up my growths. I'm able to get in 5 growths when he wakes up, and use a Sand attack before I put him to sleep again. I get the last growth in and start attacking, as my first Vine Whip misses. Fortunately, the second one hits for about 2/3 of its health. I decide to switch to Wrap just for the slightly better accuracy, and after 2 of those, it goes down. After the Abra comes out, and since it only knows Teleport, I was able to take him out easily. I could have done my setup easier here, but whatever, too late now. After 2 misses with Wrap, I switch to Vine Whip and take him out in one hit. Then this Rattata comes out, which is an easy one-shot, and then Charmeleon comes out. If I'm not careful, this thing can kill me very quickly, so I try to put him to sleep. However, it just doesn't work for some reason. I don't know what happened here, like I know Gen 1 is pretty glitchy, but come on. I've never seen anything like this. If any of you know, please tell me. Anyway, after missing 7 times and him taking more than half my HP, I finally decide to reuse Wrap, since I know it'll get him stuck, but of course, I miss. Thankfully the second one hits, and so do all the others. After a while, he goes down, winning us the battle. That was a lot closer than it had to be. However, I think that's just because I'm an idiot and not a glitch. After we get the ticket to the SSN and clear out every trainer in it, and now another rival battle. There isn't much to talk about since just before fighting we got up to level 33, meaning we now have Acid and Razor. Great moves right now. With these two moves we were able to one-shot sweep pretty much all of the team, with Charmeleon being the only one to survive a hit, but still going down very easily. After that we head to the Electric Gym, and after clearing out all the trainers, I started the trash can puzzle and spent about 10 minutes trying to figure it out. But after a while I was able to get it and the fight began. He led with Voltorb, who used Sonic Boom, taking out 20 HP, as I one-shot him with Razor Leaf. Then Pikachu came out and used Quick Attack, but it did literally no damage, so another Razor Leaf took care of him easily. Finally, Raichu came out and it outsped me using Thundershock, dealing very little damage and paralyzing. Luckily, we were able to push through paralysis, and the Razor Leaf takes almost all of its health out with a critical hit. Another Thundershock for me and another Razor Leaf for the Raichu, taking him out. After that, we head over to Rock Tunnel, and since most of the trainers there are rock climbers, we are able to take care of them pretty easily. After this, we reach Lavender Town and head straight to Saladin City to get the Silph Scope for the Pokemon Tower. Clearing out the Rocket Hideout was really no trouble at all, and Giovanni was also a one-shot sweep. After that, I head to the Grass Gym, and this one I was very scared about. Pretty much all of her Pokemon resist my moves, however I also resist hers, so it's gonna be a battle of attrition for sure. But to my very surprise, it was easy. Just 2 assets on Weeping Bell, 1 on Tangela, and 2 on Vileplume with a little bit of sleep luck. After this, I head to Pokemon Tower for the Pokeflute and meet my rival again, and once again, it goes really well. 2 assets on Pidgeotto, 1 on Execute, a couple Razor Leafs and Gyarados, 1 asset on Kadabra, and 1 on Charmeleon. With the Pokeflute, we can now enter Cycling Road, which is a great place to level up, and it also allows us to have a battle with the Poison Gym. Koga opens up with Coffin, so I put him to sleep so I can buff myself as much as possible, because those Pokemon are tanky and defeating them without any type of buff would take ages, so I set up my 6 growths while Koga uses X attacks on his Coffin. And when he wakes up, I miss and he hits me with Sludge for decent damage. Next turn I am able to land a hit, taking out almost all of its HP with a critical hit as he uses Mog for very little damage. Then I miss 3 consecutive Razor Leafs, a move that has 95% accuracy. On my 4th attempt, I hit and take him out. However, I have already lost more than half my health. Next comes out Mog, so I put him to sleep immediately and use Razor Leaf, taking out almost all of its health and taking him out with a 2nd. Next is another Coughing that goes down to 2 critical Razor Leafs, and finally Wheezing comes out. I try to put him to sleep, but miss as he takes about a third of my health with Sludge. Next, my Sleep Powder hits and I'm able to take it out with 2 Razor Leafs. That fight was a lot easier than expected, so from now on I won't use items in battle. Held items are still allowed, but potions are no more. After that, we head on over to Saffron City to clear out Silphco, to get a bit more levels, get a Lapras for Surf, and take on what is known to be as one of the hardest rival battles in the game. First he opens up with Pidgeot, so I use Acid to take half its health as it uses Wing Attack for very little damage. After trading damage for a turn, he goes down to 1 more Acid. Then Execute comes out, so I can start setting up my growths for Gyarados and Alakazam. With very good sleep luck, he never gets to hit it, so I'm able to get 5 growths in and take him out with 1 Acid. Gyarados comes out and he gets one-shot by Razor Leaf. Next comes Alakazam and I put him to sleep because I know 1 Psychic is enough to kill him. 1 Razor Leaf takes him out. Finally, Charizard is out, so I try to put him to sleep just to be safe, but miss as he uses Ember for 11 damage. Next turn, I'm able to put him to sleep, but wakes up immediately. I just used Acid, almost one-hitting him, but he in return lands a critical Ember, leaving me with 34 health. Thankfully, 1 more Acid does the job, taking him out. That could have been a lot worse, to be honest. I'm just happy I was able to one-hit the Alakazam. Now, onto Sabrina. This is a gym that I've been dreading since the beginning, since 1 hit from any of her Pokemon will be enough to take me out, so I pretty much have to one-hit everything, which is kinda scary. But thankfully, it was pretty much a one-shot sweep, with the only thing that actually dealt damage being Alakazam, and he didn't even hurt me that much because he used Side Wave, an absolutely terrible move, winning us the battle. Now we move on to the Fire Gym. I've seen Blaine behave like an absolute idiot, so I really hope he does so here. He starts with Growlithe, who gets critically hit with acid and goes down. Ponyta is next and almost goes down to an acid, but hangs on and hits a fire spin for almost nothing. However, it continues for 3 turns, dealing an annoying amount of damage. Thankfully, I'm able to take it out soon after. Next, Rapidash comes out and I hit with acid, leaving it with about a third of its health, as Blaine uses a Hyper Potion, bringing it back to almost full health. Another acid brings its health even lower, but Blaine again uses a Hyper Potion. But one more acid is too much for it and it goes down. Finally, Arcanine comes out. So I put him to sleep immediately as Blaine uses a Super Potion on a full health Pokemon. Yeah, he's definitely an idiot. One acid takes out a third of its health, but Blaine, the potion lover, uses a Super Potion and brings it up to almost full health. My next move crits, leaves him with very little low health just as he wakes up, so one more acid takes him out for the win. Yeah, I don't know what's Blaine's deal, but hey, I'm not complaining. Finally, Giovanni, but to no one's surprise, he is incredibly easy. Since he only uses ground types, we just sweep through his team, taking almost no damage. Now, the rival battle. This one took a couple of tries. I was able to take out his Pidgeot without any damage. Rhyhorn dealt a little bit of damage since I missed a Razor Leaf, but the next one took him out easily. Execute went down in one hit. Gyarados hurt a little bit with Bite, leaving us with a third of our health, going into Alakazam, which he outsped and took us out in one critical Psychic. Well, crap. I'm sure I'll need to grind those, so I'll just try it again. Next attempt goes a lot better. 2 acids take the Pidgeot out, but in return I take 36 damage to a wing attack. Rhyhorn goes down in one hit, and I for some reason put Execute to sleep to just take him out in one acid. Gyarados is next. We both miss our moves, but next turn I put him to sleep as he wakes up immediately. So I put him to sleep again, and he wakes up again, so I put him to sleep for a third time and start building up growths. He wakes up as soon as I'm done, so I hit him, hoping to one-shot, but I crit. Now if you don't know, in Gen 1 crits hit without taking into account stat changes, meaning a crit right now is the last thing I want, leaving him in yellow health. He hits a Dragon Rage, but one more Razor Leaf takes care of him. Now Alakazam comes out, so I put him to sleep, just to be safe, but again, he wakes up that same turn. I try for sleep again, and then one Razor Leaf takes him out. Last game on Charizard, so I put him to sleep on that same turn and use one acid, leaving him with very little health, so another one takes him out. Now we can finally go into the Elite Four. I went into it with level 69. Nice. Which I honestly don't think is enough to beat the Pokemon champion, but I'm still gonna try, and hope for the best. First is Lorelei, and she opens up with her Dugong. I put it to sleep and build up my 6 growths, being able to one-shot every member of her team except the Shinx, who managed to get off an Ice Punch that did an embarrassing low amount of damage, and the Lapras who just healed and went down in a second Razor Leaf. Next is Bruno. He starts off with an Onix, which is of course just a one-shot with Razor Leaf, so is his Hitmonchan, but when Hitmonlee came out, I put him to sleep just to be cautious and it went down to 2 acids. Another Onix came out, which was another one-shot. Lastly came Machamp, who was able to survive a critical Razor Leaf, but only used Focus Energy, so it went down in the next turn. Next is Agatha, one of the members that worries me the most. She opens up with her Gengar. It outspeeds me and uses Nightshade, dealing an annoying amount of damage. As I miss Sleep Powder, next turn she uses Confuse Ray, however my Sleep Powder lands. I build up 4 growths until it wakes up, so I use Razor Leaf, taking out half its health, but it also dealing some heavy damage to me. Another Razor Leaf leaves it on red health, because it was a crit. Thankfully, it decides to use Dream Eater even though I'm awake, so another Razor Leaf is enough. Up next is her Golbat, so I put it to sleep because I know that thing can hit hard, and then I use Acid, taking out about a quarter of its health. Another Acid takes another quarter down and also brings down its defenses, as he also wakes up. But one more Acid is enough, so he goes down. Her Haunter comes out, so I put it to sleep, and 2 Razor Leaves make quick work of him. Then came Arbok, and because it was a crit, the Razor Leaf only managed to take out half its health, as he uses Acid, leaving me in red health and lowers my defenses. Terrified, I use Sleep Powder, and thankfully it hits and another Razor Leaf takes him out. The last Gengar comes out, so I just put it to sleep, and with an unnecessary amount of Razor Leaf, it goes down. Man, crits have really messed up this run. Gen 1's weird. Next is lands, and I failed them a very good amount of times, mostly being able to take out the Gyarados and Dragonairs, but the Aerodactyl is a brick wall. But I do know I don't need to grind. With better luck, I can do this for sure. Finally, I get an attempt that I honestly thought that was gonna be a loss as we take out the Gyarados, but it uses Dragon Rage and Hyper Beam, so we're left with only 48 health. The Dragonairs are simple since the move agility is Psychic type and I'm poisoned. They think that it is super effective against me, but it just does nothing. But when his Aerodactyl comes out, he uses Supersonic, confusing me, but I manage to land the Sleep Powder. Next turn, I snap out of confusion and land a critical Razor Leaf, leaving him deep yellow health. So another Razor Leaf is enough to take it out. And last is the Dragonite. This was dumb. I kept trying to put it to sleep, but it just refused to attack me, which just led to a very uninteresting couple of turns. Finally, I put it to sleep, and with a critical Razor Leaf, I do almost nothing. So I try with Acid, and after realizing that this Dragonite just refused to hurt me, I just spammed it until it went down. Yeah, that was dumb. But on to the final boss. My rival, as always, opens up with Pidgeot, which in most of my attempts just obliterated me. And even if I was able to get past the Rhydon and the Executor, Alakazam just finished me off. But as with anything in life, stubbornness will get you through anything. So finally I got this attempt. First I put the Pidgeot to sleep so I can take it out without risking anything. I then use Acid as he wakes up, so again I put him to sleep, and then 2 more Acids bring him down. Alakazam comes right next and outspeed me using Reflect, but I put him to sleep. I then hit Razor Leaf, he wakes up, but another Razor Leaf finishes him off. Next was Rhydon, who went down to a single Razor Leaf. Executor then came out, but after Sleep Powder and 2 Acids it went down. Then his Gyarados comes out, so I put him to sleep right away, and he wakes up right away. So I try Sleep Powder again, and he leers me. This happens again, so I try Sleep Powder again, but miss, and he uses Dragon Rage. Finally it hits, and I'm able to take it out with a couple of Razor Leaves and Acids. Last comes the Charizard. It outspeeds and uses Fire Blast, taking my HP down all the way to 5. Thankfully though, sleep hits. Unfortunately, he wakes up next turn, but I am able to get an Acid off, taking away half its health. It does Fire Spin again, but it misses, so I put him to sleep, finishing him off with a couple of Acids, defeating the final boss and winning us the game. And as a reward, I finally allowed Carney to evolve. Since he had put so much work in, he really deserved it. This was honestly a really fun challenge, and I'm glad I never really had to grind. I did get carried by Sleep Powder though, which could be considered scummy, but I'll take my win. Anyway, let me know what other challenge do you want me to do, either Pokemon or any game you want. I'm willing to do anything. Leave your suggestions down below. Although I am thinking of doing another Pokemon challenge. Pokemon Soul Silver with only in-game trade. I think it would have more variety and just more fun. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. See you in the next one. Bye bye!